had a couple thoughts on self-acceptance and just accepting certain parts of yourself. And yesterday, I made an insecurity list, and I made a list of things that I love about myself physically and things that I just don't really accept or like. And I feel like a lot of people hold us to a standard to where they expect us. Like, at least for me, I'm constantly held to a standard of perfection because I'm good at making things look good. Like, I'm good at just completing things like 110%. So I'm always held to a very unfair standard of perfection that I can just never reach, whether it's by my parents on earth or teachers or even peers. Like, people are always holding me to this super high standard because of how I present myself. And I don't try to be perfect. I don't try to look perfect. I don't try to do any of those things. Naturally, I'm a hard worker, and naturally I get things done, right? And they're naturally really good. And so I feel like with self-acceptance, like, people think it's a one-way stop, and it's a whole journey of constantly trying to accept the way you were made. And God says he made us without any imperfection because he made us in his likeness, and there's nothing imperfect about God. And so I'm trying to reaffirm the word of God, but at the same time, like, be able to look at myself in a mirror. And I think it sucks that, personally for me, that I can't just look at myself in a mirror. Like, it's so hard for me to look up, and I think that comes from looking up and seeing all our failures, or looking up and seeing all the things we failed to do, instead of looking up and seeing courage, looking up and seeing, effort, looking up and seeing a child of God. We look up and we see all the negative things about ourselves, and we claim that over our lives. But with self-acceptance, like, a lot of people make it seem like it's a really, like, easy thing, or like it shouldn't take any time, or it should be easy, and it's not. Nothing about it is easy. Nothing about looking at a part of yourself that you don't like and having to accept it is easy, And today I felt like I was held to a very unfair standard, where I've been kind of dealing with not necessarily liking my hair. And if you don't know, I'm Black. I don't think race really matters, but we have different type of hair, different textured hair, and it's always been looked at as, less than, or it's always been looked at as something that's just not desirable. And I've never seen anyone in my family with my type of hair. And so when I cut my hair off and I, let the hair that naturally grows from my head, like, flourish, it was the hardest decision of my life. In the sense that it was a new chapter of me. It was a piece of me that was so unfamiliar. Like, I've never seen myself in this light before. And a lot of people, a lot of non-Black people, or a lot of people with different hair textures and stuff like that, kind of told me, like, just accept it, like, just love it, like, why don't you love your hair? And I'm like, it's so easy for you to say, especially if you don't have it, or if you've never done anything to it to make it, like, permanently straight or anything. So it's so easy for you to say if you've never been in my shoes. And I don't mean to be one of those, easier said than done type of people, but it really is easier said than done, especially because hair is such a big part of me. And I am trying to learn to accept it. I'm trying to learn to love it. I'm trying to learn to cooperate with it instead of talking down on it, because I believe, like, our bodies hear us when we have negative things to say about them. Like, my hair hears me, my body, whatever. Like, I believe that, like, you're you, so you can hear everything you're saying, right? And the first opinion comes out of your mouth. And so we want to say nice things and positive things about ourselves, but it's a journey, and it's always hard. Starting is always the hardest part. And I'm at that part right now where I'm just starting, and I feel like people are forcing me to be mid-road, or forcing me to be at the finish line when I'm just getting started. And so I guess this video is just to talk about how self-acceptance is really hard. Whether that's accepting everything about yourself, or sorry, there's wind. Whether that's accepting every part about yourself or just the little things, that you don't really like. I'm so sorry for the wind. But it's a journey and you're the only one on it. Of course, God is with you, but, nobody else has to go through this journey like you do. Nobody else has to, accept yourself the way you do. And at the end of the day, if you don't accept yourself, nobody cares. And if you do accept yourself, nobody cares. And so it's a conscious decision that you have to make. And it's a hard one. But don't let anybody make you feel rushed in this journey. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're going too slow or you're not going fast enough. Like, take your time, whenever you're ready. But don't say tomorrow 1,000 times, But take your time for sure. Like, don't rush it. You're gonna regret it. You want to experience every part of that journey and really take away key points from it. And yeah, I guess this summer we're on a journey to learn to love ourselves and to own it. So